And welcome to another edition of the John Wayne Surge Protector Podcast, a 60/40 production. I'm Eric Halsey.
As always, I'm still Alex Midway.
I got a bit of a barn burner of an episode for you today, starting with poop on the water.
So this one actually is it's a listener submission. We want to thank, first of all, everyone who's listening and anyone suggesting. If you have any suggestions, jwspinfo@gmail.com. Hit us with it. So you may have heard something about the a little bit more fecal matter in your drinking water. So we looked a little bit more into it. And honestly, it was a Supreme Court case. And I did not expect which state was going to be challenging to put more poop in my water. I had red state by a billion, but apparently DraftKings, this one is completely different. I would have lost my rear end on this one because who exactly sued the EPA to dump a little more poo-poo?
Unfortunately, that looks like California.
Yeah, San Francisco, the whale's vagina, as Ron Burgundy once mentioned it. So they had a whole thing, and some of the stuff actually makes sense, and some of it doesn't. So it's San Francisco's out there. They wanted regulations from the EPA. They're like, hey, man, the things that you're telling us are a little bit too vague. You're telling us not to dump poo water, but just how much poo water are we not allowed to dump? And they were asking for numbers. And the EPA, in the arguments, the EPA lawyer actually said, like, we'd love to give you a finite number, but you're not giving us any sort of data. So we can't exactly extrapolate like how much to let you dump. So can you guess what the wonderful Supreme Court from other bangers like Roe versus Wade and the Chevron doctrine said in this case?
Well, with our current Supreme Court, they're probably like, just dump it all, man. Nobody cares.
Just not see what they said. And in today's episode of Who Exactly Buys Bottled Water, Justice Alito says, if the EPA does its work, our holding should have no adverse effect on water quality. Needless to say, the Surfrider Foundation, I'm guessing this represents a whole lot of dudes, just trying to surf the waves in California without any kind of toilet paper or little brown logs floating next to them, was slightly disappointed. And we can see why.
Our whole country is that pool scene from Caddyshack now. It's great.
Well, I mean, it's life imitates art.
Well,
So, and another submission that we had was this is a doozy, and I'm sure we'll be back on this one soon enough. But it was talking about getting rid of a whole mandate of not having separate water fountains and separate facilities, back in the old Jim Crow days. So Fearless Leader went ahead and removed that language in there. So technically on paper, it says that now federal contractors wouldn't have to follow that. And his logic was, it's DEI. So, but go ahead.
I was going to say, this sounds like another one of those Control F problems that we're having lately, where they're like, nope, add the word equality.
It's not just for white people. Get rid of it. I hate all of you. But essentially, we're still kind of safe for the time being because the language in there still says that the contractors are required to follow U.S. laws on civil rights and discrimination. Sure enough, we'll probably get rid of the Civil Rights Act soon enough, but for the time being, we're all still drinking out of one big water fountain with some poo in it. So gather around.
It's funny. It kind of sounds like after all the talk we've been hearing for years about the whole trans issue in bathrooms, right? Like men need to be with men and women need to be with women. How long is it going to take for some black guys like, I'm going to go to the bathroom? They're like, not that one.
Yeah. Pulling down a shirt, so like, see this, it means not welcome.
If only we were a video podcast where we could show the Ed Norton clip. Yeah, this is Yeah, they're laying the groundwork to go back to when we were great again.
Like, how? Why would you even do that? Like, how does this help eggs? How does this help house prices?
Better question for you. How is going back to the non-white bathroom thing? How is that going to be efficient for the government? Doge, we need to get a separate set of bathrooms again.
Well, he's just reverting back to what he learned in South Africa. So,
back in my daddy's emerald mine.
Yeah. So there we were. Oh, what's it called? His dad came out. He's like, hey, man, there's no way my son's a bad person or does anything bad. He's like, he had black servants when we were growing up.
The level of tone deafness, it's not even tone deaf. It's just, God, you're better at words than I am. Just the level of, I don't get it.
Like, there's I can't be racist, I have black friends. And then there's a real, I don't get it. Like, I can't be racist, I had black servants. Like, Jesus, dude.
And servants is kind of a gentle way of putting that, seeing as how this was during apartheid. I think there used to be a different word for that, but what do I know?
Yeah, we're tossing that one out.
Yeah, I'm poor, so must be dumb.
Fair enough. Let's steamroll this thing down a cliff a little bit more. It's so sometimes we like to circle back to past episodes, and this one we're circling back to one we just did early in the week. The saga of the Venumexicans.
Oh.
Remember how we talked about it and we said, hey, man, when you deny people due process, it might not work out well. Well, there's some of that on there. But before we get into it, right now, Fearless Leader is out in Colorado and he's taking a victory lap. He got rid of all these people from Tren de Agua. I'm sorry. Let me get that one right before I get a hit put out on me. Tren de Aragua. And apologies if I'm saying it wrong. I'm not here to offend the gangs. But let's see. Ooh, brain fart here. So, yeah. So, essentially, he's out there. He's doing a victory lap. And this is also the gang that you remember back during the election when they said they took over an entire apartment complex. They're out there running the show. Yada, yada, yada. This is before we eating the cats and the dogs. These guys had normal diets. But I figured if we're going to talk about all this, we should probably talk about who exactly Tren de Aragua are. So let's get into this one right here. They're actually a prison gang out of Venice. And so it means Tren de Aragua. It's some people have said it might be related to the name of union workers who were building a railroad between Aragua and Caracas in Venezuela. So just like a lot of the wonderful gangs in this country, this one was also started in a prison. It's weird. When you send people in there, they just out there brainstorming together how to rob more efficiently. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, it's almost like they're sharpening their life skills and in the worst imaginary ways possible.
It's like a prison think tank. Like
it's probably their fault though.
Yeah. So one of the things about it in prison, and I found this out and I couldn't look away. There's 2 different articles I found on it and I was reading it. It got more and more wild. So back in 2023, the government of Venezuela had to go into this prison where they started down in a city called Tocoron. So they go in there and they go in there with 11,000 troops. So imagine a prison around you. And then imagine how many troops would be needed to walk into that prison. And then be like, is that number higher or lower than 11,000? But these guys, apparently, they had been running this place for years. They've been running it for years because they had a freaking restaurant, a nightclub called Tokyo. And what's the last thing right now, before I tell you what the final thing that they have, you tell me what you think a prison, the most off-the-wall thing, would have.
It couldn't be a pool.
It could be a pool and a freaking petting zoo. These guys had a pool built in there, and it had a petting zoo. Not just any petting zoo. They had a freaking flamingo and an ostrich in there. These killing machines were out there hanging out, watching ostriches and flamingos.
Well, flamingos are fun to look at, but if you remember, they're pretty territorial.
Just like those gang members.
Yeah, so you know what? If the flamingo was in there, maybe it learned these life skills of how to get along with people.
The flamingo formed their own gang too, walking out there.
Maybe reformation works.
So the fact that these guys had a pool, they had all this stuff, it's actually crazy. They had a full-on like society in there. They had like a little city. So the reason gangs usually started because, well, your neighborhood kind of sucks. And it's the only way to make money is by doing illegal things, doing hood rat things with your friends, as one gentleman one time put it. So when Venezuela's having their worst thing, and, well, not to the level where eggs are very expensive, but when everything with the entire economy's collapsing, people would literally go to this prison to buy groceries. And probably pet an ostrich or two. But yeah, so they had that. Like, they even had relatives who moved into the prison. And they just started like, I don't know what kind of prison this was, but it's wild. And I tried to find more photos of it. They didn't have too many. But yeah, like you go to prison for stabbing a man and then like your girlfriend moves in because it's awesome and you have an ostrich.
It's almost like those communities they built on The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like these aren't, a lot of these people are not very nice and are probably monsters, but because you don't really have any other options, like I guess nature finds a way to get us into a community.
I mean, it's wild. So going back to the part where the 11,000 troops are there, so they're getting ready to storm this place, and after they stormed it, they found multiple machine guns and 1,000 rounds of ammo. Like, these dudes, not only were they nice petting, like, and they had their own like little I don't know, communal farm and probably an REI somewhere, but they like armed to the teeth. And then 11,000 people are sent in. What do you think the casualty numbers are from this prison retake back program?
Thousands.
One dude. One dude from the government side. Now, on your bingo board, do you have how someone might die taking back a prison?
Well, with all those machine guns and ammunition, I'm going to go ahead and assume it was gun-related.
My guy bonked his head on the car getting out, fell down, and died. Now, it sucks, but that sucks even worse when you're going into a prison and you died because of a headboard. You didn't learn to duck. Or maybe, you know what, maybe you're covering something up. Be like, yeah, he hit his head.
yeah, ran into that doorknob.
Repeatedly with his face. But
Stabbed himself right in the back a bunch of times.
Yeah. Like you think he'd be a reporter in Russia, but no. Taking back a president of Venezuela. But yeah, one guy died. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, sounds pretty peaceful.
That's not too shabby. I mean, technically, it's not a very lightweight gang at all. There are no MS-13 in the country, but, I mean, they practice all the usual stuff, extorting, smuggling, drugs, and prostitution. I mean, that's where you get your money. I'm sure they're into crypto and something else, dice games.
Didn't Matt Gaetz once say that should be the name of a convenience store in Florida? Maybe I'm paraphrasing. I don't know.
He's like, where only underage kids are allowed to go. Thanks, Matt Gaetz.
P.S. We take Venmo.
Freaking pedo. We got to do an episode on him. But so going back to the trend, you may remember him. Like they're responsible. One guy was responsible for shooting 2 cops in New York City. He was out there door dashing. And he went down the wrong way. Cops tried to pull him over. So he pulled a gun out of a little bag that he had and shot at the cops. Later on, he would testify with the the Shaggy defense. And he said, hey, man, I know I shot at those guys and I killed them, but I didn't mean to. Like, I don't know about you, and I've never went door dashing and shot at cops, but if you manage to, like, kill 2 cops, like, I don't know if you can claim I wasn't aiming my gun at them. Like, one, I could understand, but you pop 2 cops, like, that's deliberate.
I mean, we don't know. And it's very possible it was ricocheted, or he was just firing wildly back. It's possible he probably felt. Nah, never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, though there's really not a whole lot of excuses you can come up with when you murder 2 police officers. I was trying to devil's advocate it, and I got nothing for you, buddy.
They're not standing out there like it's a rifle range and like fully extended 6 feet tall, arms out to the sides. Like, they were probably behind a car door. Like, you pop one, the other one notices, but like, he killed 2 of them. He's like, yeah, man, I didn't mean. The gun just went off by itself twice into both their bellies. But yeah, that's one thing you may have known him for. They also killed a retired cop in Florida, so it's not the nicest people on the planet. And even last year, Biden went ahead and labeled them a transnational criminal organization. There's that word, trans. So that's why Trump read that. He's like, what the hell? That sounds like terrorists to me.
Read them.
Which bathroom are you using?
Yeah.
So we went ahead and upgraded them. So that's most people, it's a legit organization. It's not up there with MS-13, but I mean, with this kind of press, some people are going to want to join it.
It's shooting a cop's not a great look, but the prison thing is wild. It's really interesting how these terrible, horrible people somehow still created like a community, and like not just like bare necessities. They had a pool.
I honestly hope they started printing their own currency. Like, you want a pack of smokes, you want an over pants handy, like, you'd exchange services, make enough license plates, next thing you know, boom, you're out there. But no, that's wild. But the people we deported, some of us were not in that gang. And out of those people that we deported the last time we talked, 44 of them did not have criminal records. Like, not a single thing. They weren't even convicted. They weren't nothing else. They just got yoked up. So one of the things about the group, the actual gang, is it does not require tattoos. But some of the stuff that ICE does is a lot of times they'll focus on tattoos. There's a whole thing in Quantico where they actually looking at tattoos and tagging, and just essentially a lot of groups that we know will put all kinds of tattoos when you join a gang. The Latin Kings have a 5-point star, well, which is what Texas and Border Patrol actually list. The tren, they have a 5-point star, also roses, predatory felines, and stars. So that's some of the stuff that they attribute to essentially being part of his gang. So if you got an angry cat or, I don't know, a star, like, that can be used to send you south of a border with a quickness.
Now, the problem with that is when you say predatory cat, that could be first off, all cats are predators.
Uh-huh.
Every one of them cannot be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I have been to a handful of places where they show lots of skin, beaches, other places.
Supporting single mom.
You and I have seen plenty of people with jaguars or tigers, or it's predatory felines, a pretty common tattoo.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm also getting to. In case you're a sports fan, another thing that they enjoy is the Michael Jordan jersey, or the number 23. So if you're a big fan of the best basketball player of all time, you too can be on the next flight down. Yeah, so have a little tiny kitty, like basketball. I don't know, man. You're a fan of gardening and you have some roses. You could be on an actual plane down south. So,
well,
let me go ahead.
That's not always true, though, because I mean, eventually, before they do anything like that, the government's got to like prove that you are not just here illegally, but also a criminal, right?
The government used to have to prove. You forgot where the asterisk goes.
Oh, my bad.
So one of the things I want to get into right now is 4 specific examples of the most wrong place, wrong time story. So part of the whole lawsuit, some of the lawyers are arguing about their clients being deported and like without due process, and as well they should. We shouldn't be sending people over without having a trial. I mean, unless you're found in a combat zone in Afghanistan or Iraq shooting at U.S. troops, you deserve your day in court. I mean, it works for what's it called, the Tate brothers. It should work for the dude in your backyard just hanging out. Like, here's the first example. He's listed in the court documents as JAB. So our guy, he already crosses the border back in 2023. So he's been here for a minute, and he's been hanging out. He never got convicted or anything else. He's actually seeking asylum. He's seeking asylum. This gets good. Our guy is seeking asylum because gangs in Venezuela used to beat him up. And he is a gay man with HIV. Like, has a rose, a clock, and a crown. And the crown has this kid's name on the bottom of it. And, like, he's down there. These gangs are beating him up. He's like, I got to roll. I'm a gay dude. They're not too looking kind on me. Comes here, comes across the border, shows Border Patrol his tattoos. They're like, cool, man. Just come into the country. We'll get you an asylum briefing. All right. Starts working, doing his thing. Got that little asylum thing that he's got to show up to. Goes in there. Gets some guy who in his off time clearly wears a MAGA hat. He's like, you got a rose? On the bus you go. Gets yoked up 2 years later after entering without any crime. And now he joined the gang when he came here.
Yeah,
come on.
Feel like they all have one thing in common.
Yeah. It's the what's it called, the Family Guy, but when he holds up the card with all the colors.
Correct.
Yeah. Terrorist, not a terrorist. The lighter his skin. So there's another guy called EV. He's listed on there. He's fled back in 2022. So he too has been in the country for a solid 3 years, man. He's got some flowers, a crown, animals. And all right, when you think of gang members, what do you think that the next tattoo that I list is going to be?
I'm guessing it's something super violent, something tough guys would have, real alphas.
It could be violent. It's anime. For all we know, our boy's got a Naruto tattoo. So we're deporting the guy with the animation thing.
It could be Pikachu.
Yeah, he could have a Pika Pika on his arm. Who never knows? I mean, the crown that he's got on there, it's for his dead grandma. He literally put the actual date at the bottom. But you think that's the pinnacle of it. We've got another guy. The next guy is Jersey, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, Reyes Barrios. Our guy, he fled torture back in Venezuela when they were giving him electric shock and suffocation. I don't know if it's at the same time, by themselves or bad enough, but if someone's hooking up a car battery and smothering you with a pillow, I'd leave the country too.
Bad day at the office.
It's horrible. So our guy's got an actual crown, and it's on top of a soccer ball. And he's got a rose with the words Dios, which is God, on his other arm.
Clearly a gang member. I understand.
The thing looks like a Real Madrid logo. So if any of you are fans of soccer, I don't know who it is. Actually, we do have some European listeners, so kudos to you. Y'all know what the Real Madrid logo looks like. He's got that, and ICE is over here saying, hey, man, you're a gang member. Now, there's one quality about this gentleman that might be a reason of why he's got a soccer ball on his arm. Can you guess what that is?
That's how they smuggle all the fentanyl into our country.
He is a professional soccer player.
Drats, that was close.
It's the next box over. Our guy's got a soccer ball. And they're like, "You're in a gang." He's like, "Yeah, with a team, professionally. I play football." I was like, "That sounds gang related." On the bus you go. So the last guy, Anielo Jose Sarabia. So again, if I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. If you ever get back into a country, look us up. I'll say it correctly. We'll bring you on the show. He's 19 years old. He's got a large rose of petals on it. The petals are made out of cash, so I can see how that can be slightly related. He's also got another one that says Fuerza y Valiente, which translates to for valor and strength for his bicep. And he's got one about Jesus. Like, and ICE is looking at these things, and they're just like, you know what? Yada, 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 tattoos are tattoos. On the bus you go. Like,
Now, not in ICE's defense, there were a bunch of rappers in the 80s. It was the bigger the crucifix. You know what I mean?
oh, I mean, yeah, we're bringing it back to that time.
Oh, but wait, hold on. We're a Christian nation now. No, they should have let that one go.
I guy's a Jesus-loving guy. So, but I mean, again, this is one of those things, like, will we know if they were in a gang or not? Like, I don't know, man. A professional soccer player with a soccer ball? Probably not. But will he ever get his day in court? He won't. Because they're just randomly grabbing dudes. And Trump is out there just threatening people and had to literally send them to a prison out of country. So we're not even keeping the money here. I mean, come on. We have to outsource our prisons?
Yeah, if there's one thing this country does insanely well, it is privatize our prisons.
Yeah. We run the private army and we run the private prisons game. That's our thing.
Well, evidently not. More jobs we're sending out of the country.
God. All right. What else we got here today?
All right. So speaking of questionable visas, I'd like to get into our good friend Elon's super weird interview. But before I do that, it's time for my personal favorite part of this podcast.
That's a nish.
Or is that?
Ach ja.
All right. Well, we're going to start first off with nish.
That's a nish.
This week's nish, alpha males. Those big, strong men that refuse to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
No more.
Oh, no.
Now.
If they're out, what is the...
Ach ja.
Akya, being a victim.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly what you think of when you think all those big tough guys at MAGA.
The drastic change.
So Elon went on to a super unbiased. Never mind. This says Fox. Went on to Fox with Hannity, and
tossed him a couple of hardballs, did he?
Yeah. So he goes on to Hannity. And they're asking him about all this stuff happening to Teslas, where people's Cybertrucks are getting swastikas spray painted onto them, or just graffiti in general, or just burned to the ground, or they're burning the EV chargers, or they're throwing Molotov cocktails into Tesla dealerships. Okay, so they stop and ask him. They're like, "Hey, man. Easy layup. What are your thoughts on this?" And our boy Elon goes, "It's quite a shock to him. Can't understand where this is coming from." Then immediately blames liberals that it's all their hatred and violence of the left. Then says Democrats are supposed to have empathy and be caring. Which is funny because on Joe Rogan, he described empathy as the fundamental weakness of Western civilization. You know, maybe he doesn't always mean what he says. But then he goes on to do my favorite bit. I've never done anything. Now, he either says harmful or awful. Either way, 100% wrong. I've only done productive things. And just our boy cannot wrap his head around where all this hate's coming from. Which just goes right back into the can't be racist, he had black servants talk. Just, I think you hit a certain dollar amount and you're like, nothing matter. If I think it, this is just the way it is.
Like, I was informed I'm able to fire all these people and just destroy their lives, and none of it would ever rise up against me. And they just keep buying my cars while I'm out there doing Nazi salutes. And like, this is weird. What are these people doing standing up for themselves?
Well, on the other hand, since we're obviously not going to talk about the billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars he's recently lost, he did save some money recently.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, because his Tesla sales have just plummeted. You're going to get an easy break on this Cybertruck recall they just released.
Just a couple here and there?
Yeah. Just 46,000. It's 46,000. And the issue is at highway speeds, from our engineering genius who definitely created this truck with no help, they glued sheet metal panels onto the vehicle. Not secured them with screws, like every car manufacturer has since we invented it. They glue it on. And at highway speeds, their terrible glue just unsticks itself and throws out a giant 4-foot panel. And who knows where it's going to go at 70 miles an hour.
But the car's so aerodynamic. Like, how could it ever catch anything?
Well, evidently the front panels around the driver's window are not as aerodynamic as we thought, and it is hurling sheet metal across the lanes.
Technically, it is a defense mechanism of a car. As you're running away from people throwing Molotov cocktails, you speed up to 70 and deploy countermeasures.
I guess it's
glass half full, buddy.
It's scary, but honestly, it's pretty on brand, honestly.
Like when you look at that thing, like you're like, you know what? That seems like it's very well built. Like we did the whole thing on the Cybertruck. They threw a baseball at it with the most limp wrist that I've ever seen, and it still breaks the windshield.
Clearly it wasn't one of those servants who went out to go try and teach him how to play catch.
Papa, why don't you go out in the yard and throw the ball around?
God, I hate him so much. We're just over our time now. And in case you're wondering how bad the world is, we went through all that, and we don't even have time to bring up Kanye West's super iced out swastika chain. So that's how things are going.
The amount of diamonds that thing has on it. So if you got a chance, go ahead and Google that bad boy. It's iced out to them. A lot of you probably bought those stupid T-shirts he was selling. That's T-shirt money he's got.
Word to the wise. If you are still one of those people still luckily to be gainfully employed, do not Google this on your work computer. Unless you're in the government, in which case it may help. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
You might get promoted. You might be in Doge become Monday.
Start a podcast. Become director of the FBI. Whatever.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Midway.
I'm Eric Halsey.
Daddy, chill.
Later, Gators.